All right. This is an interesting subject. Relativism, and especially relativism in morality. Now, it's distinct. We have to understand that, first of all, I just want. I hate when I say that we have to understand something. Because in a way, I mean it. But in a way, I don't really mean you have to understand it. But it's important to understand that moral relativism names a particular interpretation of relativism applied to morality. The concept of moral relativism. It's become a name of a school, just like Pythagoreans or whatever. It can become a name. Okay, it's different. In other words, the way I apply relativity and the concepts of relativity, the principle of relativity, to morality does not yield this moral relativism, which is a nihilism that says, oh, there is no real morals because they're all relative. To me, that's crazy. That's like looking at the sun when you're in some primitive, isolated village, and it's like, oh, the sun is a turtle going across the sky, and then somebody realizes, hey, that's not a turtle, and you're like, there's no sun, but it's going to be dark. You know, the sun still fucking exists there, no matter what. So, it's not that there's no moral judgments, it's that they're relative. It's the opposite of saying that there are none, because there's more, right? There used to just be one moral judgment, that absolutely correct one. Now there's, 6 to billion to 100 billion or whatever, depending on who you're gonna be talking about. Everybody has a moral judgment, and that's chaos. Yeah, I know it's chaos. Oh well, welcome to the world. The world's chaos. I guess you can handle it because you're alive. So anyway, yeah, I was watching a goat video on this. Goat likes to talk about this stuff, and let me see. If this takes too long, I'll cut it out. But if not, who cares? Okay. Okay, it's called Why, and he's sort of putting in a side comment about in a conversation between Azranoch and Veritas. Okay, I peripherally watched that. Veritas comes in and has a comment here that really is exactly what needs to be discussed here. Oh yeah, the subject is rape, and is rape objectively wrong? I say that no, nothing is objectively wrong, but the term rape has a lot of things that it brings in. Ontologically, it refers to a lot of other things like people and women and men, and by bringing in all of these things, it brings in certain frames of references. So rape is something that applies to the world of man, right? What about a rape in a movie? Is that automatically wrong? Well, it doesn't really apply. That's not really rape. See, rape limits what it could be applied to. Something that's very much like rape, but just on film, is not actually a rape. When two animals, non-humans, have some sort of mating ritual that might look like rape to us, it's not actually rape. It doesn't really apply except metaphorically. So rape has a context, and so within that context, because that's the thing, moral relativism, okay, within a single context, facts and logic all work the same way that they say, and that the objectivists say. So the argument isn't about logic. The argument is about, are there different frames of reference where there's different facts? And there are. I don't believe in relativism because I like the idea and want things to be relative. The reason I believe in relativism is because it's discovered. Time is relative, velocity is relative, everything's relative. We cannot see into another thing, so we can't get the thing in itself. We're the only thing in ourselves, okay? And what we can tell is relationships. You can compare two things. You can take them and go, oh look, but you can't discover them in and of themselves. What you can do that's just as good, that zeroes in on the thing in and of itself, is look at thousands of relationships around it. You know, if I want to look at the relationship of this pen and figure out, look, it's a pen in itself. You can pretend, oh, its essence is a pen, but no, it's a bunch of plastic and some rubber and there's pigments. It has a relationship. Internally, its parts have relationships. So hundreds or thousands of discernible relationships. And then between it and the real world, it has position relative to hundreds of objects. So I can pinpoint it and get something that starts to seem like, oh, it's an essence. But no, it's never an essence. It's a really tight web of intersecting points.